Attention! Go!
And we're away for the first race of the day. Prince of Wales Challenge Cup Leander Club up against Skøll from the Netherlands.
There's a lot of power in that Skøll quad there. Now we cut back to Leander, but yeah, there's a lot of power I'm aware of in that Dutch crew, with 3 of the guys down in the 550s on their 2-kilometer ergo, which is phenomenal. But look at this great technique here we see from Leander Club. Brilliant, look at them. Threading those blades back and forwards out the back end of the stroke, really keeping it nice and high and lively.
And Harrison Law in the bow and the stroke seat of the Leander crew. They're previous winners of this event. Harris also won at the Queen Mother in 2021. So good experience on board in the Leander boat, but they are being led out by the Dutchman.
Yeah, the coach from the Leander crew, Ali Brown, was expecting this to be a very tough race, and it will be close, but this is what these younger athletes, these development athletes, are looking to do. And I mean, a real credit to Rowan Law as well in the bow of that Leander quad there, who's just on the top of the picture there, who's just keeping an eye on the Skøll crew there. He's come back into the sport after 2 years out coaching. He's previously won the Queen Mother, the international level quads at this event, and the Prince of Wales, so lots of great experience. And there he is, Rowan Law at the front, whispering to his crew as they stride into a really racy rhythm here, and they make sure they stay in contact with this very strong Skøll crew.
And Dutch rowing, such an incredible pedigree in quad sculling, particularly at an international level and all the way through. So when you're coming up against a Dutch crew in any event, but particularly in the quads, they're always dangerous.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that blade work there. They are getting all that power onto the oars. We can really feel the wind picking up here in the commentary box, where it's really swung round today. It feels like a bit of a tailwind, or a bit of a cross tail today, whereas it was more of a head yesterday. But this is shaping up to be a great race already. Both crews still in contact with each other.
And the wind has really dictated what's happened in the racing in the last couple of days. It's been very interesting. 2 days ago on Thursday, we had a very strong tailwind condition. We saw record after record falling, particularly to the Forley and the barrier. But yesterday it was completely the opposite. It was an absolute hammering headwind, and many crews struggling through that middle section of the race, and we saw a couple of scalps that we didn't maybe expect to see at that point in the regatta. But it really does dictate how you approach the racing, doesn't it, Adam? How would you, in this tricky sort of cross tail, how would you be racing? Because it looks actually as though it's just a little gusty in that first half of the race, but not really fast conditions, but I think it will get faster down the track.
I think it will pick up, as you say, and yeah, like I'm glad you asked, Sarah. This is it's a really interesting area, because you know sometimes with the headwind days it feels like you're climbing a mountain on a bike. You know, it's kind of a bit more kind of in the legs and a deeper burn in the muscles, whereas in the tailwind it's a bit more on the lungs, and it's a bit more how nimble and fast you're moving. And actually that's great, you know, looking here, that even though the Skøll crew took that early lead, it looked like the Leander quad here are making a great comeback and pushing back through on the Skøll crew. Great sculling there by Leander on the left-hand side of the screen there.
And you also get a great shot of the water. You can see those dark sections there where the little bit of breeze is coming through. So as the crews hit that dark section, they will cop a little bit of a breeze, so they have to be ready for that, pushing out into their handles in order to keep the boat stable, making sure that they're not getting knocked around by the little gusts as they do build as they move down the course. But as you say, Adam, this race is tightening up, and in fact Leander now making a move and looking dangerous.
They are indeed, and a big shout out for the other Leander crew that was racing in this event, Star and Arrow. They actually won the Prince of Wales 10 years ago, and they reformed to have one more go down the track. They sadly went out to Leander Royal Club early in the competition, but great to see previous winners come back and have another go at this event. But yeah, look at this, so tight between these crews. Brilliant. This is such a good race to start us off with the Saturday.
And this is what we want to see on the Saturday. Tight, fast racing. These two crews still locked together in the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. Leander Club on the left, Skøll from the Netherlands on the right. Perhaps Leander just with the narrowest of margins, but it's all going to come down to the dying stages here as these crews make their way down towards the enclosures.
Oh, look, this is really starting to hurt now, isn't it? These guys are digging deep. The water's livening up, but this is fantastic. I mean, as we said before, there's so much power in the Skøll crew. So it's a great job by Leander to hold them off. was great. Leander just looked that little bit more relaxed now as they're coming through the top of this shot. Their Skøll crew, here they come through. Just look, they feel like they're being put under that bit more pressure, which is fantastic for these younger athletes at Leander, who have just obviously not quite got the same international experience as some of the guys in the Skøll crew. But they're both crews battling it out here fantastically.
Yeah, both young development boats here. This crew from Skøll, who we saw on the left there, as you say, the stroke man, he raced at World Cup 2 in the double, placing third in the B final there, but largely a development crew from the Netherlands. So I'm sure these athletes in both boats will be focused on making it into the national team in the coming years. But we see a great shot down the bow there of the Skøll crew, who have a lot of work to do if they want to get themselves back into contention, because Leander have made a decisive move.
Oh, wow, that's a brutal move, isn't it? Look, they've really opened that up there, haven't they? Oh, that's fantastic there by Leander. You really want to make things easy for yourself and try and open out the gap and don't leave it too late, but they have done a great job there as they started coming through the enclosures.
As they're coming down to the line now, it has been a perfectly executed race for Leander Club, coming across the line in the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup.
Oh, that was very mature racing, wasn't it, Sarah? I mean, it was so close through the middle there. Lots of great development athletes racing here. But, yeah, Leander learning from that and just applying the pressure where they need.